Hey guys, welcome back to the Sales Society, and today we are doing another video breakdown of the Lumi Bros. As always, they just make such great content. Specifically, it looks like they released one of the videos where it's an appointment all the way through, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're looking for the most like meaty good stuff to basically learn and improve your game, that's exactly what you're looking for. It's no edits, it's nothing, it's just raw from the beginning, getting you all the way to an appointment. So today we're going to be doing a video breakdown on their process and how they do things. As always, we expect a lot from them because they're just always putting out top-notch stuff. So without any further ado, let's just get right into it. All right. Looks like it's called How to Set a Solar Appointment, the Red Snapper. It's probably one of their guys. It's kind of funny, but yeah.
Hello,
everyone always kind of gets nicknames.
Pretty good.
I'm all right.
We're with Amazon. I'm just joking. We're not with Amazon.
Okay, you're not with Amazon.
No, we used to be with Amazon. That was a couple years ago. So my name's Will, and this is Noel. We're with Lumio. Have any of our guys come by to talk to you about the projects going on? I'm sure you've seen a couple neighbors making the switch over to solar. We're just coming by to see if you guys have gotten the numbers or if you guys have qualified for the program yet.
Them. Sounds really expensive.
That's the old program. So right now you don't pay a penny out of pocket. You start saving month one, and then you get your...
Yeah, we usually teach this principle. You can never teach someone how they're wrong. You can only teach them that they're right twice. So that's exactly what he just did there, which wasn't, hey, you're not wrong, but there's a new program out. So from the bat, there's a few things we need to understand moving forward. This guy definitely feels like a dominant personality type. He came out, dominant personality types you can usually tell because they're not afraid to tell you no. That's the main thing.
Your bill locked in at a fixed rate. And so we're not the ones that actually show you the numbers and everything. We're just like...
If you notice too, this is actually not something small, and I was going to bring this up. Notice his body language, okay? A lot of times we kind of have to correct and kind of like point this stuff out, especially when we go in and train groups. What he's doing is something you probably, if you're just watching on the other side, you might not even notice, but he's standing sideways. This is a huge deal, okay? This is big. Let me explain the whole situation that they have here, all right? We usually, first of all, we teach our guys to be even further back. This right here can be uncomfortable for the customer because let's say, for example, the client is, let's say, right here, right in the back and stuff like that. You're closing them in. It's uncomfortable. People naturally like to have escape routes, and when you close them off, they feel very uncomfortable. And oftentimes when we knock, you have like tunnels like this. So what he's doing right there is small, but it honestly, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose. He could be, which if he is, obviously he's a vet, because this is a veteran move. He is standing literally sideways, okay? This is something we usually don't talk about because we would talk about it so much, but you never really want to face your client like this. You don't. It's not normal. It's especially to build trust. Usually what you want to do is eventually you want to get to a shoulder to shoulder, basically side to side them, just slide in there or something. His guy that he has next to him, he's not really telling him anything, but if you notice, he's not really closing off the area. He is facing him like this, but he's also off to the side, so it still kind of works. But yeah, this is a big thing he's doing. More side by side when you do it.
We look at the power meter and then make sure you guys are using enough energy. And then we would have Elliot come by sometime this week, whenever works for you, and just show you the numbers. Most people usually just want to see the numbers.
Sounds like a bait and switch though, because like normally that's what they'll say. You're not going to pay out of pocket, and then you end up paying money, and you have to get. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's
I need to do my own due diligence to determine who is screwing me.
Dominant personality type.
The only one screwing people right now is the utility company. I'm sure you've seen it on the news. And so right now, all we would do is just show you. What was your name, by the way?
I never said.
What was your name?
My name is Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael. William.
Good job. He doesn't flinch. The customer is being a little difficult, right? And everyone has a different vibe, but he doesn't flinch. And this is something you could tell this guy is a veteran, because a veteran basically won't hesitate. They just kind of keep moving forward with the process. So the fact he's do that, man, this guy's good.
Hi, William.
How are you? And so we would just show you what the house looks like from a satellite view. Just draw a line down the paper, show you apples to apples, how much you guys would be able to save with solar. The old program, you used to have to pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 out of pocket. Now you literally do not pay a penny out of pocket. It's not a couple $100 here for the permits or for the designs or even for the install. And the first months are actually free. And then you just start saving month one. So, people are going...
I still need to do my own due diligence.
And that's
because,
what we do.
So far, the quotes are all over the place.
You know why? because you got a lot of out-of-town companies coming out here giving ridiculous prices. So we're actually local. We're an in-house company. We're going public.
So here's the thing, right? We don't know if this is a response he had loaded up, but this is one of the principles that we always teach basically when we go into organizations. We teach a lot. But one of the things is, first of all, you need to have your top 10 rebuttals. Okay, so if you're writing this down, let me break it down for you even further. Every place you go to, you're going to have 5 rebuttals that you get over and over again. One of the mistakes salespeople have is they think the field is just completely random. No, if you start paying attention, you start recording yourself, you're going to notice you get the same rebuttals over and over and over again. They just vary. You're going to have, we're not interested. We're going to have, we're moving. We're going to have basically like that type of mixture. Okay. And what happens is you just need to get really good at handling, let's say 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And so basically anytime they give you that objection, you're a pro at handling that situation. That's how you improve as a salesperson, is you get really good situationally. So right there, that response that he had for that was just, it was beautiful, man. Like yeah, that was big. That was nice.
And our whole goal is to be the whole home experience provider for you. We do more than solar. We do home improvement, so windows, roof, insulation. Our whole goal is to elevate the home experience and just create the smartest, energy efficient home possible. But the tax credit is the biggest catch. That's the reason why people are going solar right now. You want to make sure that you guys qualify for that you have taxable income over $40,000, which I'm sure you do.
Small.
And then like this person, they got.
It's small, but it's a big deal what he's doing. So if you notice when he talks, he's constantly nodding his head. That's a big thing. This guy's been doing it, I want to say minimum for 6 months. He could be for years, but minimum for 6 months. This guy's definitely beyond the threshold of, I would say, we kind of usually break down guys. You have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. This guy's definitely even I would say, sophomore minimum, but I'm even hesitating there. Probably a junior to senior. Easily, I would say, as far as one of the experienced guys that they have in their wheelhouse. He's good. He's just doing little things that basically make him, you could tell this guy's seasoned. That's what we would call it. So if you go back and pay attention, right, when he's talking this,
which I'm sure you do, and then like this person, they got
the little things. You really need to make sure when you're out in the field you do that. Okay, yeah. Because what happens is what you do that your customer will mimic. So they'll start going like, oh, okay, oh yeah, that makes sense, without
$15,000 tax credit. And so that goes into the value of the system. So you
also notice his body language, like seriously, like just. It's really good. So here's what you have, right? So he's super comfortable. His body language, I know, is, first of all, it's very dominant, okay? But it's super comfortable. You can say he's leaning against the pillar, but if you notice again, and it's at this point, it's got to be intentional, okay? He's not directly like facing the client like this, like he's giving him space. It's that side-by-side technique we kind of teach. You never want to face your client like that. Like he's doing a lot of things.
At a fixed rate. And then again, all you do is you stop paying that electric bill and you start paying a cheaper solar payment. Do you know about how much you guys are paying for electricity right now?
Right now, we're doing really good on our electricity.
Transition question right off the bat. Again, we kind of talk about this, but this is a main thing you need to have. So I would say in order to have success in the field, you need a lot of things, okay? But if I were to try to make it as simple as possible, you need a good pitch and you need to know your transitions. That's like the main thing. You need to know your pitch and you need to know your transitions. And furthermore, have transition questions to help you get to that next part of the pitch. If you notice, he didn't even skip a beat. He was basically at this part, he said his question. Basically, if the customer answers it in any way, he moved them forward. It's really well done.
Because I locked in a year and a half ago, or over a year ago, at about 10 cents a kilowatt. So I'm good for right now. What I need to do is get things set up for when that's not going to happen.
Correct.
So
always go with the flow.
Where they are, but I'm guessing normal is probably 17, 18 cents a kilowatt hour, maybe more.
It's going up, and that's not even including the distribution fees and the delivery charges.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I'm all in at about 10 cents a kilowatt.
It's really good. Yep.
At average, and I could go back and look, but that's where I think I am.
Yep.
And it's all because I made this switch back in May of last year.
Are you guys with Rhythm, or what energy provider do you got?
I'm actually with Frontier. They offered me a year and a half plan, 18 months.
Yep.
And I took it. And I was like, and the conventional wisdom is that you want to make your plan kick over to to.
So as a rep, okay, and I'm going to pause right there. I'm sure he's already going to do it, but as a rep, one of the things that you do, it's kind of funny, okay? So the reason why you need to know your pitch so well, and honestly, you need to become decently good at this job. Here's what I would say. The difference between a rookie and a vet is this. A rookie is basically just so focused on their pitch and just kind of get into the next part. They're not really situationally aware. I'm sure he's going to do it, but let's break this down. The customer just said that he had 18 months, right? He signed up 15 months ago. It was an 18-month plan. What that's telling me is within the next 3 months, he's going to need to do something. Now, here's the way I would position it, right? And I'm sure he's going to do something exactly along these lines. I would, oh, that's perfect. So here, actually, we had a customer just like you. We had Jody down the street, similar situation. What we were able to do with her is we were able to show her the full situation and get her set up. So that way, when you do have to switch, your plan is already active and ready to go. So something along those lines, I'm guessing that's what he's going to go with, or at least he should. And I'm guessing he will because, like I said, he's giving me vet vibes, and veterans always pay attention to what the customer is saying. If you're not, honestly, you're just a rookie because you're just focused on you saying the right things instead of using what your clients are saying to help the things move forward.
When your contracts end, to end them in low peak months.
Yep.
And so ours is scheduled to end in
job.
November.
Perfect.
Except for that the rise is so high now. I mean, it's like even still, it might be a great time to renew, but it's not going to be the same kind of rate.
Right. Well, the biggest thing too is that with electricity, that's money just like rent money that you never get back. You're just giving that to the Encore, right? The main energy provider that owns the grid. And they're going to be going up a lot. At the end of the day, these guys are a bunch of investment bankers that are about the bottom dollar. And they're already investing in solar farms, and you're going to see that charge on there eventually. But all we're doing is just helping people, take the power back from these corrupt monopoly utility companies, and you can actually own your power. And so when you pay the solar payment each month, of course, it's going to be a lot less. But instead of you putting that money into the electric company's pocket, you're redirecting that to a cheaper alternative that builds equity.
Yes, I understand that
It's too much.
That would be the ultimate goal.
Yep.
Right now,
Here, and we talk about this usually, right? We talk about the rule that we kind of said in other videos. You usually want to go 5 to 15 seconds at most without having an interaction point. If you notice there, he kind of stole the mic too long, so that's why the customer basically took it back. This isn't a bad rep. I promise you, even when I do my own video breakdowns, there's things that I could do better. This guy is honestly... And here's the thing I'll tell you. Every time that they allow someone in the recording, they're one of their top guys. I would say nationally, this guy's good compared to the nation as far as door knockers. This guy is good, man. Easily could go and be a top guy in any other one, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. He's good. But right there, he kind of talked too long. So that's why the customer, you overwhelm them. 5 to 15 seconds. Just remember that rule, and then you need to have an interaction point. Some type of way they can engage.
We would probably pay more for the solar on a month-to-month basis.
If you pay more, it doesn't make sense. We want to always make sure that you guys save.
I think that where we're at is I want to have an idea of what it is exactly that we need.
Yep.
And see, that's another thing. I don't know where our use is going to be because we are about to put brand new windows in this entire house.
Okay. So it's going to go down.
What is that going to do to our energy bill?
It's going to save. Yeah, if the home's more energy efficient.
And so we've already got us like a 19 SEER air conditioner with a 2-speed fan, 2-speed. So that saved us a bunch of money on our electric because we're not on a single phase anymore. So that I don't know. I don't know where we're going to be. I think the windows could potentially save us a ton of money.
It will.
And that'll reduce us down because like right now, our electrical use.
Yeah, this guy's really good. He's doing a lot of things. So one of the main things he's doing, right, is he's agreeing with the client. You always want to do that. That's one of the things that we usually, it's a really bad habit when we kind of take guys in, whether it's one-on-one coaching, whether it's like a group coaching session, or whether we've trained organizations. You'll always have, I would say it's quite a bit of people. We have a bad habit of basically treating things like an argument. Okay. Here's the issue. When you treat things like an argument, you lose. You're losing. He is so good at just always going with the flow and agreeing with the client. If you notice, right, he could have been like any traditional guy and been super scared and be like, well, you don't know. Well, I mean, your bills are still going to be, I'm sure, pretty high. No, he's not scared of saying, yeah, it's going to go down. Oh yeah, that's great. Remember, keeping that positive attitude is such a big deal. He's doing so good. His body language is so good. Just keeping really calm. And this is another note. His tone is so good. Always keep this in mind. When you're trying to pour new information into your client, when you're trying to have them actually think, you want to bring down your voice. You want to bring down the energy. The reason is when you start getting too energetic, you start getting too riled up, you might accidentally activate their fight or flight. Here's a fun fact for you. When you do that, in their brain, they're no longer able to think and process new information. The brain, when it's fight or flight, is simply focused on taking action. That action could be either obviously getting aggressive or, more importantly, or getting out of that current situation. But the brain is not focused on thinking, it's focused on taking action, which is great when you want them to take action. It's not great when you want them to think and change their perspective on things. So that right there, what he's doing right now is textbook. It might just be his natural tone, the way he does things, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's his natural tone, and that's why he's so good, because he's always keeping his clients in a state of where they're nice and calm. So therefore, he's able to go in there and change their perspective on things because they're in a state of mind that they can.
I actually have been, I kind of geek out on stuff.
Yeah, I do too. That's the cool thing about this end phase app.
I've got a few months of updating to do, but it's my electric worksheet. I updated it back in April, and it was but basically I'm averaging 1109.33 kilowatt hours.
So you need about whatever 11 times 12 is. I'm bad at math, but it's about 12 or 14,000 kilowatts for the year. And so the cool thing too is that every single month where you're producing more really power than you're using, you actually get paid for that excess power.
So the average was 1109, the median is 963, and that is going based on data going all the way back to 2017. So that's my summary page.
Yeah.
My high is 1786.96. I've never used more than 1786.96 in the 5 or 6 years I've been charting it.
He's making sure the customer is being heard. This is really good.
78.28.
Okay. So those would be the months we'd be getting paid for your excess power. Because let's say you use I was
told that they don't
buy back.
They don't pay back.
Yep, that's the old program. So the new program, it's a 1-to-1. You actually do get paid for your excess power.
Why would they do that?
Because they're incentivized.
This is big. Okay. So again, if you notice, the only reason why the customer was able to be receptive to what he was saying is because he kept him nice and calm, like we just talked about. And also, we just talked about the principle earlier. You're never able to prove someone wrong. You're only able to prove them right twice. That's exactly what he did right there. He didn't say, he's like, no, that's not true. That's not how it works. He said, no, that's the old program. The new one completely changes everything, which is totally different.
Incentivizing homeowners to go solar. And so.
Who is they?
The state of Texas.
So but Encore's being forced to pay you back?
Yes. Yep. And so with the program right now, it's a 1-to-1. You're grandfathered in for that. And so every single month where you overproduce, you get paid for that. And then if there is a month where you underproduce, like during those high summer months, then that's where you're pulling from those extra credits, kind of like rollover minutes on the cell phone. So you've already got all the kilowatts. So all we would need to do is just find a time for our solar specialist to come by for 20 minutes and walk you through the program. Would you have any opening? I think we're kind of booked up tonight, but would you have any opening like tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon?
I don't know if I have time tomorrow morning or afternoon because I've got to.
Okay. You never do this. He's done so many things right? Again, it's always hindsight as well. He asks.
Do you have any opening like tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon? 20 minutes and walk you through the program.
So it's not like he even did it in a bad way. I mean, it was still actually really clean. This is still a rule you want to use. Would you have any
opening? I think
he asked, would you have any openings? You never ask, man. Ever ask. The way you want to word that is basically along the lines of, and what works better for you? We're going to be out here today or tomorrow. Which day works best? If you notice, it's more of a leading question instead of asking, do you have time? If you ask those type of questions, majority of the time, they're going to tell you no. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure he has questions ready to recover because he knows, okay, not always do they answer that. So he has a recovery for that, but you could just set yourself up better in the beginning by not asking that type of way.
kind of booked up tonight, but would you have any opening like tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon?
I don't know if I have time tomorrow morning or afternoon because still got to figure out about doing I got a truck that's been in the shop for almost a month.
Wow.
And they're trying to get it back.
Yeah.
I gotta work on that in the morning. That's what I'm gonna try to do is get my truck back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the hardest part about our job is just timing because life's busy and crazy. But
well, like I'm okay with you, talking about this.
Putting the report together.
But like, there's a couple of things that I definitely want to know. Mm-hmm. Because I know that a lot of it has to do with the western sun.
Yes, sir.
I do not want to kill this tree.
No, it's a great tree. Yeah.
I don't. So whatever is done, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with this tree too much. And I'm afraid that if you cut a bunch of limbs off, it's going to get uneven. And weather could possibly blow it down.
We could probably put it on the back.
He's asking, closing questions right there. This is a really good sign. Just right now, if I was out there, I'd be like, yeah. But I joke, but this is really going really good. Okay, when you have your customer engaged to this level, this is exactly what you want. And here again, I'm going to say this over and over again. His tone, his vibe is just so calm and relaxed, really professional. He's putting the customer just at straight ease. This guy's really good because he is not only very knowledgeable, but also more importantly, he's able to create an environment that puts the customer at ease. That's not something everyone can do. So the fact that he's doing that right now, it just shows how much level of professionalism he has. I would say he learned that in the solar industry, but I'd be honestly genuinely really interested to know what he did beforehand because that's not something that's very easy to pick up. It's very impressive.
So if you see these guys, you see how it's more yellow right here on the back? So that's where we put the panels, right? And so
But the back is facing north.
Is it? So maybe we could put them on this side?
This is the south. This is the south side.
So you'd probably want them on that side. That's the south side of the roof, right?
This is the south side of the roof. The side that we're looking at.
Yeah.
This is the south side.
And that's west right there?
And west, you see where the sun is coming right there's west.
Yep.
So it's kind of south.
You're getting sun all day. So what we could do is build this report for you and then drop by and walk you through
it. So this is north, right here. Due north, right? Is this way.
Yep.
That way.
So this, I guess from, like trying to do the best of saying what it most faces, it faces mostly south. Mm-hmm. I guess is the way we would put it.
Well, let's do this. We have an appointment we got to go to with your neighbor Mary at 7 o'clock.
We use very similar verbiage. So what we say is, so why don't we do this? And it's one of our best transition questions that we really ask. It's honestly, I just gave you guys such a freebie right there. So why don't we do this? That is such a good transition phrase because basically you're asking without asking them. You're more or less telling them, let's do this. So they feel like they have a choice, but the way it's verbed, it's not really. It's really clean, man. It works so well. So why don't we do this? Since we're going to be out here anyways tomorrow, let's just go ahead and get you set up and get you some info. And that way later on, if you decide to do something, you guys already have the information. Sound fair? That wouldn't work right here, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys the
Mary who?
Mary, I forget what her last name is, but I know we're going to go meet with her at 7 o'clock.
Is she on this street, or is she on one of the other streets?
Pinehurst.
She's on Pinehurst.
Yep.
Okay.
And so what we can do is just find a time that works for you. You're saying tomorrow's pretty busy. We're booked up the rest of the night. Do you think like tomorrow evening, like maybe around the same time, like 6:30 tomorrow?
What I would say about it is let's talk about what your proposal is and or why you think that that's a good proposal. I know that a lot of these other fly-by-night people have come by through here, and I've sent them
that line he used earlier was, dude, it was so good, and I paused the video to talk about that, but that was good, man.
Use and like they talked about wanting to try to have me. I think a lot of it's going to be about timing. Because I don't know that I want to install it before and start making payments on it until I want to use up my electric bill right now, because I know the interest rates are probably going to be something like about 6%.
Sooner you make the switch, the faster you can start saving, and then with Frontier, we can buy you out of that contract.
But
and
I don't want to be
penny.
bought out of the contract because my contract is going to be better than whoever I go with.
Mm-hmm. So with solar, if you're not saving money, then it doesn't make sense. But the biggest thing again too is like instead of renting your power, and that's probably going to be almost $1,000 from now until November.
There's some fumbling going on. This guy's good. Okay, I'm not. It's just this is long, and it felt like there were certain moments that we could have had the appointment decades ago, and I'm not. Yeah, there's something. Okay, I'm trying to look at the length. This is the full 20 minutes to get this appointment, man. There was moments where he could have had it if it's just small changes. And I'm not just going to talk the talk. I'm actually going to I'm going to show you exactly what moments I'm talking about, right? So I'm going to keep paying attention. But it feels like, yeah, it's like what we always talk about, right? It's like a plane landing. It just keeps kind of hovering. We miss some opportunities to land it. So I'll show you even one.
It's going to be better than whoever I go with.
Mm-hmm. So with solar, if you're not saving money,
I think a lot of it's going to be about timing, because like I don't know that I want to install it before and start making payments on it until I want to use up my electric bill right now, because I know the interest rates are probably going to be something like about 6%.
Sooner you make the switch, the faster you can start saving, and then with Frontier, we can buy you out of that contract.
But I don't want to be bought out of the contract.
Okay, and that's what's so funny. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, it's not that he didn't pay attention. He did. He just missed some really big markers. So for example, I even said it earlier, right? I pointed out the direction I would have gone with it, and I'm not saying it would have gone better, but it probably would have. He still got the appointment, but it probably took longer because of the route he chose. Always imagine, right? Like that's why you always want to, in my personal opinion, if you're living in a state that you legally can record yourself, what I'm talking about, audio or video, you need to do so. So for example, for me, right, in the state that I'm in, it's a one-party state, consent state. So I constantly record my audios, and I always go back. Not only do I go back to the ones I failed at, but I always go back and listen to the ones that I got appointments with and figured out, okay, I got the appointment, but how could I have even made this better? This is exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm sure they got the appointment, and I'm not talking bad and saying this is bad, but there's moments where we could have even gotten faster, and you want to train yourself that way because those moments might not bite you in the butt for this one, but it might for other ones. So right there, he should have known that the customer didn't want to switch out of that contract because of the way he was talking about how happy he was with the current setup he had. So what a different route could have been right there, right? Is saying, okay, well, why don't we make this fun? And I'll explain why that verbiage is important. Every time you set an appointment, if the customer is not looking forward to it, if they feel like they're going to be put under a lot of pressure, if it's going to be super stressful, they're not going to want to sit down. You need to make this fun. You need to make this engaging. You need to make sure it's something that they're looking forward to. And if I could summarize it any better, it's this. You need to make your customers feel like they're about to win, because who doesn't like to win? So right there, what I would have said, I was like, so why don't we make this fun? Let me go ahead and send this to my team and see if we just can't blow you out of the water. I'm going to explain to them that you have 3 months on your contract, and if they can't make it worth it, it's not going to be worth your time. Does that sound fair to you? Let me just challenge my team just for giggles. Let me see what they can do. Okay, yeah, I like that. Because here's the thing. What it does is it puts the customer in a win-win scenario. It lets them know either you win and you get to, stay with your electric company, or we have to come over and just give you some crazy offer or make you feel, or make you really make sure you're winning when you switch over. Does that sound fair? I would tell them I'm not involved in that decision. I just want to kind of put my boss in a difficult spot. Let me see what they can do. They owe me a favor. Let me see if they'll do it right now, right? Something along those lines. And the customer's like, okay, I like that, because you make them feel good. Always remember this. Customers do things for 2 reasons. One, to avoid pain, or to gain pleasure. That's a very important principle to understand.
Because my contract is going to be better than whoever I go with.
Mm-hmm. See, now, because he missed those markers, he has to restart.
If you're not saving money, then it doesn't make sense. But the biggest thing again too is like instead of renting your power, and that's probably going to be almost $1,000 from now until November, especially with the summertime usage. With solar, you could put that money back into your house.
This rep is a professional.
But even if you do qualify, we still don't know if the house is a good fit. That's where we have to help you out with submitting your application, see if they approve it. And if they do, it's a no-brainer. They've made it make sense logically in every single way to go solar. And then it's just a matter of timing, So what we can do is build that report out for you. You mind if I grab a picture of that energy usage so that we can put that into the system?
Okay, say what now?
Do you mind if I take a picture of that month-to-month kilowatt usage?
Well, I can send you the whole thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Remember what I told you? Customers usually zone you out if you talk too much. He didn't really even talk that long there, but the customers stopped paying attention. You have 5 to 15 seconds. You need to keep that in mind. But again, and I always bring this up, and it's a point that we make over and over again between the guys that are getting appointments, the guys that are not getting appointments, is they understand their pitch and they have good transitions. Again, he had a good transition. He understood, I'm at this point in my pitch, I need to move it forward to this part of my pitch. If you are not getting appointments, if you are not having success, I promise you, you fumble right here. You don't know your pitch well enough to basically move it forward to the next part, or you don't know your transitions well enough, or you don't even have transitions to get it moved to the next part. It just kind of all jumbles.
Let me shoot you a text right here so you got my number. What's your number?
Okay, my mobile number.
Mm-hmm.
Good questions.
And your name one more time?
Transition
My name
questions.
is Michael.
Michael. Cool. And
Assume
I'm going to send you our
always
website
do
too.
that.
We are one of the best for sure because, like I said, we're not just a fly-by-night company. You know, we really do want to make sure you have a good experience because, you know, the warranties are going to cover you with the roof, with the system, as well as the production. So we're always going to ensure that you guys are producing enough power for your home so that you're 100% solar and not getting double billed, because that's where a lot of companies fail, is that you're still getting the electric bill. So we'll show you exactly how much energy the panels are going to use. They're 400-watt panels, and with your energy usage, you'll probably need anywhere from like 20 to 22 of them, I would guess.
You can
Professional.
try to see if you can get access to that.
Let me see.
That's the Google document that I've.
Oh, you're on top of it, Michael. Nice. Okay, so we've got that kilowatt. So yeah, you're using a lot of energy.
That's going back to 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go back to your own sheet.
Oh,
ones,
nice.
2017, 2020, 21, 22.
Let's look at 2021. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. And then 150, 160.
But that was before I switched. I switched in May,
Okay.
or roughly May. So my first bill should have gone down, started going down, and right there's my price per kilowatt hour. See how much it went down?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going like I'm at 9 cents a kilowatt hour, 10 cents a kilowatt hour, and that's actually using math.
Mm-hmm.
Not the regulatory charges off to the side or whatever. That's my actual kilowatt hour,
All of it.
based on the bill that they sent me divided by the kilowatt hours showed that I used.
Yep. Yep.
So that's where I'm at last year, and that's where I'm at so far this year, and I still got to update it. I need to do that.
Well,
And my prevailing thought is that I need to have a plan in place to offset the increase I'm going to have. But for right now, I'm paying less than anybody else is for my electricity,
You're doing good.
and I don't
does
know
good
that
with
I
that.
want to screw with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, look.
So like my
It always
plan
compliments the customer.
would be
It's
to find
it's
out
exactly
the best
what you should be
installer,
doing.
the best people for it, and actually one of the other things that I would really like to be able to do is to basically protect myself from anything that could happen in the future where they just arbitrarily, whoever they is, decides to cut everybody off.
Right.
Oh well, we're not going to do power anymore.
Yep.
You know, that's a big concern to me. We actually never lost power during the snowpocalypse.
Really?
So never did.
Nice.
But,
So here's what you need to do, okay? Whether you're the closer or whether you're not, this is the difference between a rookie and a vet. Your customers will tell you exactly how to sell them. This is what's going on right now. So the difference between a rookie and a vet, the rookie is going to be paying attention so much to their pitch, just hoping to say the next phrase right or anything. They're not going to focus to this. This is where the magic is happening. I'm sure he's going to write this stuff down. He's going to either type it up in his notes. I'm sure they're using like Sales Rabbit or something like that to basically track all the appointments. He's going to write it in there, if not for himself, but for his closer, especially if you're running a situation, okay, where basically you have an appointment setter and a closer model. You absolutely need to treat it like you're the one going into the close. You need to write this stuff down. This customer is literally telling him how to sell him. What's important to me? You need to pay attention to this stuff. if you're running in a setter, a closer model, and you are not helping your closer close, shame on you, dude. Like, for reals, I hope you get hit by an e-scooter, okay? Not killed, but like your knee's kind of messed up. Like, that is not something you should ever do. You need to make sure you're setting up your team to win, and that's how you do so, is by paying attention to these important moments that your client is going to tell you what's important to me, so you can type them out so your closer can look at it and be like, okay, cool, I can make a specific pitch. Okay, I need to steer the close in this direction and vice versa. That's what he's saying is the most important part.
Because we found out we were tied in with the same one the hospital is. But
that makes sense.
But if they start going the route that they keep going down, they could
exactly.
It sounds like that they might want to.
Well, yeah, and you see what they're doing. They're asking people to use less power, so that's where people are able to get a couple different options with either a Generac or the Powerwall. But those are all things that we can show you.
I'm not sure that they're trying to make the most reliable forms of our energy unreliable.
What do you mean?
Meaning that if the way that I feel like they're wanting to go is they're basically going to say, thou shalt not use natural gas. Thou shalt not use
exactly.
Oil.
You get it.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah, agree with anything, man. I'm sorry, but it's a big game.
That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because we heat our homes with natural gas. This entire community is natural gas.
This is so big, man. When your customer is kind of going on these type of rants, you need to agree with them. Especially if you feel like it's going to help your position, you need to lean in with them. Don't just stand on the sidelines and go, Be like, exactly, you get it. See, that's what I love about talking about clients like you. You understand the current situation, and that's why so many people like you are looking at options right now. So why don't we do this? I got you already scheduled. I'm going to make sure my best guy comes out here, make sure he puts you in the position that you're going to win. When all those changes happens, you're not going to have to worry about it. And let's just make sure we at least give you that option, so that way if it is something you want to do, you already have the information. So, and I kind of went on a longer pitch there, but you understand the point. You need to agree with your clients. You need to pay attention. This is the difference, again, between a rookie and a vet. A rookie is just going to like, happy with an appointment. There's levels to appointments. There's a solid appointment, and there's just kind of like yeah, I guess it was an appointment. The difference is your engagement and the emotional attachment they have to seeing you when you come back. That's the difference between a good appointment and just an appointment.
We cook our food with our natural
100%.
gas.
Yeah, you get it.
I run my clothes dryer with a natural gas clothes dryer. All of those things, I'm worried. So, like, I would love to buy a natural gas generator.
Same.
I'm not dropping 10 grand on a natural gas generator.
No. And that's the position they're putting us in. So you understand that.
I think they're making a stupid mistake.
Oh, 100%.
Natural gas is some of the cleanest energy we have.
Yeah. And it's a shame what they're doing right now.
Cleaner than the sun?
Well, it's not cleaner than the sun.
Yeah.
But how much energy does it take to manufacture solar panels?
See what happened there? And we teach this principles over and over again, okay? If you're going to agree with your clients are going to agree with you. The minute you start disagreeing with your clients, they're going to start disagreeing with you. And again, this is the first time I watch these videos. We watch these videos live with you, or at least we try to, and you'll see, we'll tell you, hey, I pre-watched this video or I did it. When we tell you we didn't watch these videos, we didn't watch these videos, okay? And the reason why is because it's real. We wanted to watch it with you guys. We don't want it to be any like pre-done stuff, written down stuff. No, I just said, right, agree with them, everything's gonna be fine. And if you notice, it's subtle, but this is not subtle. He's able to get away with this because he's a veteran and he's been doing a long time, so this isn't even gonna phase him. If you're new, you cannot do this. You do not know how to handle this type of situation because you might seriously upset the client. So let's rewatch this.
Yeah.
But how much energy does it take to manufacture solar? The cleanest energy we have.
Agree with him.
Cleaner than the sun?
Well, it's not cleaner than the sun.
But it was so unnecessary. You didn't have to say that right there. You won nothing by saying that. And look, the customer was going down a rabbit hole that you could have gone down with, right? Made them feel more connected, made them feel like this guy gets me. So that way he's going to help me because he understands me. By just standing on the sideline and just kind of, you missed that opportunity. Not only that,
but
you threw an objection. Now, because you threw an objection, the customer feels like they have to throw an objection.
So right now, nothing changes, right, with the house. You just, instead of pulling from the grid, you're pushing back to the grid. But it doesn't take more energy.
I'm saying, how much energy does it take to manufacture a solar panel in China?
And see, this is exactly what I said earlier. I said it feels like they're missing opportunities. This could have been wrapped up so much quicker. And this is what I'm talking about. Because this was, at the end of the day, I promise you, they showed this video because it was still an appointment. Okay, it was an appointment, and I'm going to be honest with you, it probably was a great one, and it's going to close, okay? Here's the thing, though. There's a difference between getting an appointment, and when you're new, I'm going to be honest, you really don't understand. But when you're trying to, let's say, do 20 plus a month, dude, you're a different beast. I hope you understand that. The same guy that can do 3 to 5 a month cannot do 20. They can't, okay? There's things you need to be taught. There's time management. There's an understanding that you can't spread your area too wide, because then you're problem solving, driving 45 minutes trying to handle paperwork for one customer down here. Then you're driving an hour in this direction trying to do a re-sign here, or so on and so forth. And next thing you know, you lost a whole day of knocking. It's understanding that you can't just randomly go and, let's say, for example, sit in your car waiting for an appointment that's 30 minutes away because you don't know if they're going to no-show. Next thing you know, you killed a whole day. There is so many things you need to know. That here's what happens. If you're just okay in this industry, you're going to look at this and you're going to say, man, these guys are incredible. And they are. But I'm going to explain something. What gets you here doesn't get you here or here or here. And the point that we're trying to make is we teach from a point of how can we get here. This is a different level. It feels small when it says, okay, if we really divide this up, he probably could have made it a good appointment still. 7 minutes faster, okay? It's so small. It's just like, oh, it's 7 minutes, David. No, it's not 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes for this one. It's 15 minutes for the next one. It's, 20 minutes for this one. Then it's 3 minutes for this one. When you add it up and you do this for a living, that's hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And hours add up to days. Days add up to weeks. And weeks add up to months that you could have been out there being way more active, getting just as clean of appointments much faster. And next thing you know, taking that guy that's making, let's say, 160 grand a month with a different, now more advanced skill set. Now he's making 280, 400,000, however much he's making in the industry, because he cleaned up his stuff. We're not here to roast these guys. These guys are really good, but we are here to point everything they do, everything right they do, everything we feel like they could even improve on, because if they're not only just them, if you can learn from it, it's going to help everything. In this industry, everything you do matters, man. Your time management, everything you have to look at.
Well, first of all, they're not from China, right? They're American-made, German-engineered. They're made in San Antonio, so they're very good, durable panels.
In Texas?
Yeah, manufactured here, German-engineered.
Okay, well,
so
we'll talk about that.
They're very durable panels. We can show you all the spec sheets.
How are they?
Customer just wants to feel like he's right.
When you say they're made, they're not just assembling them.
Yeah.
You're saying that they are made from the rare, the whatever the earth minerals are. They're not shipping raw components and. Like the Tundra is made in San Antonio. They're not 100% American.
Right.
Yes, they're made in San Antonio, but the part may come from Japan. Another part might come from China.
Yep.
There's that other little thing in the bottom of the little sheet.
Yep. Michael, they're all good questions. At the end of the day, I'm just the guy that sets up the time for Elliot to come by. He'll answer all your questions.
Share that out, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about that.
You want to do?
The bottom line, though, is that we would like to explore the ability for whatever solar we end up doing to actually allow us to go off the grid as much as possible.
Yes. Yep.
I would at least enough of it to be.
Again, okay, I know I make this point, but if you're a sales rep, if you're doing a closer setter model, you need to be writing these details down for your closers, man. This is such a huge deal. You need to set up your closers for winning. This guy literally just explained, hey, when you come back, or if your closer says these things that, hey, look, what we do is we design the whole system to put you in a position to be off grid. The customer goes, that's important to me. The closer goes, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, they did, first of all. but also for you, you need to understand and pay attention. You need to get over the fact, and here's the thing I'll tell you, right? Stop looking at you getting an appointment like it's a good thing. It is the bare minimum. That is, and I'm trying not to get passionate about this, man, but I love this industry. I love what I do, but nothing makes me more upset than mediocrity. I'm going to be honest. When a rep goes out there and just gets excited for an appointment, I'm sorry, but that is what you're supposed to be doing. Not all appointments get you paid, though. You need to be setting quality good stuff, and it's these details that we're giving you that's going to be the difference of you start getting yay appointments, like rub your tummy, you did good, to start rubbing your piggy bank. Guess what? It's overflowing. It's these details. It's writing this stuff down that your customer is telling you and paying attention. And that's another reason why, if you're in a state that legally you can record, we always recommend it. Because what happens is at the end of the night, okay, and this is like some crazy tips that we're giving you. At the end of the night, should be, let's say you run a day, right? You get 3 to 5 solid appointments, but guess what? All the information just gets jumbled. You forget names, you forget certain details. You knew there was something they said that you could come back with and you just forgot. You can always go back and listen to your recordings. You can go back and be like, what was Janet saying? There, she said her sister, Deborah, that's her name, Deborah, she's going to be there too. Okay, Deborah, it's going to be there, and boom, boom, boom. You come back. Hi, how's it going, Sarah? Sarah, good to meet you. You must be Deborah. Yeah. How did you know? Oh, she just talked about you so great. There was no way I was going to forget that name. Good to meet you, David. Pleasure. But it's those small things, man. It's those small things. But here's the thing I would tell you. In every industry, the top 5% make not like a little bit of more of the group. It's the top 5% crush people. But you need to do what the rest aren't going to do. And it's those small details.
Be able to power the things that matter the most. The thing that we need to have power for is our freezers and our
writing it down. Bam, 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 bam. Yep. Writing it down.
And I was looking at what are they called?
Generac, Powerwall.
Not a Generac. Jackery.
Okay.
The Jackeries, where you have like the little solar panels and they charge up the Jackeries.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to buy like the most expensive one to maybe possibly power a refrigerator and a freezer.
Yep. So
and I was like, well, that's not enough.
So again, we're gonna look at exactly the energy usage, and then we know that life happens. Looked like you had a bodyguard in there. I don't know how many kids you got, but you guys are probably gonna start using more energy. So we're gonna show you like 2 different options with like add an extra 2 or 3 panels, so you guys can actually take more advantage of the program with the buyback program. But would you want to do tomorrow at like 6:30 or 8:30? You think?
Give options. I still don't like the fact that he asked, but he did ask specifically though, which is good.
Probably needs to be.
You should never have your hands in your pocket, by the way.
6:30 is probably fine.
So same time tomorrow. So we're gonna have Elliot come back tomorrow. He's really good at what he does. You'll love him. He's helped a ton of people out here in Taylor and all across Austin go solar. And again, it's either gonna be a 20-minute conversation walking through the program or a 2-minute conversation saying, hey, it doesn't make sense, the tree, or you guys aren't using enough energy. But I do think it'd be a good fit.
Come up with a plan in 24 hours?
It takes about an hour to generate the report, and then we usually sit in home with people like 6-7 times a day. So he's, pretty busy tonight and then tomorrow morning. But tomorrow, I do know there's two times available at 6:30 and 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna say here, Elliot will come back tomorrow at 6:30 p.m.
Side by side.
And then
we talk about that.
This is good. Your wife's here too?
She should be here.
Cool.
Good job. Good question.
And then just let her know, no decision to make. We're just giving you the information, putting you guys in the driver's seat, and then.
What is the turnaround if you were to pull the trigger on something? When would?
Good question. Oh my God.
So it's a little bit of a process. We got to make sure that, of course, makes sense first. That you guys approve, which I'm sure you would. They're gonna look at the trees, doing a radiance report, do a little site survey, and at that point, then they would turn in the permits. Usually that comes back in about a week and a half. At that point, we get you the CAD design, and then it's up to you to go for it or not.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
He's asking that because he has 3 months left on his bills. Why wouldn't you tailor the answer to that, man? Oh, see, this is something it's a good appointment, but he missed so much. You need to learn how to pay attention to your customer, and it is different. What happens is you need to know your stuff so well, okay? So well, and that's why you study hard behind the scenes. And if you're looking for this content, dude, seriously, you are a beast. Like, you're incredible, because most people won't try to get better. But behind the scenes, you need to improve, so that way when you're with your client, you're not focused on you, you're focused on them. I don't have to focus on what I'm about to say. It's autopilot. I can focus 100% on you, on paying attention to you, on what you're saying, on what's important to you, on how am I going to use that to basically relate to you, you know, to tailor this package to you, learn what's important to you. That is the difference between the levels of how good of a salesperson you are.
Then what?
Then you would do an interconnection agreement with the utility company where they set you up with the buyback program. And then from there, we come out, we install an inverter, the micro inverters on every single panel. And you'll see all the spec sheets and LED cancer, all that tomorrow. But they put an end-phase box on the side of your house. And you said you kind of like geek out on the energy, so it's kind of cool. You can see exactly how much power you're using and how much the solar produces every single day. And you'll get an app on the phone. So it's with Enphase, and that's our partner.
Okay.
So what is your email address too, Michael? Awesome. All right. Well, it was great to meet you. I look forward to having Elliot come by tomorrow.
Okay.
Any questions you do have, just make sure you write those down. And then I know life gets busy. You got to get your truck tomorrow. So if you do want to reschedule, just let me know. But we'll plan on being here tomorrow at 6:30. Okay. And again, just like a 20-minute conversation and walk you through the program, and hopefully it works out.
Okay.
Awesome. Great to meet you, brother. Yeah. Have a great night. God bless.
All right, guys. So again, that's been the Lumi Bros. If you haven't followed their page, make sure you do so. They are just putting out content after content after content after content of material for you to improve and get out there. And they're really good. I want to say that so loud. It's really hard in the solar industry to, I would say, make a good organization. They're doing it and then some, man. That is a name that I'm serious. If you work for them, you should be very proud to where they're growing a heck of an organization. They're awesome. Okay. Lumi Bros were incredible as always. I really want to thank them for their content, for caring about the industry, and for just being willing to record themselves knocking, man. It's hard. So when you do that, it's total props. Again, make sure you guys follow them. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys follow our page. We'd love to have you guys. And as always, we will see you guys out there in the field.